Alright guys, so how can you be a good spotter? Now you may be thinking like, I work out, I don't want to be thinking about spotting anyone else, but this is so important, especially if you're training with someone who's been training for a long time and knows what they want and is trying to develop an amazing physique. If you see someone who needs spotted, or you're spotting them, or you're just new to training with them, the best way to spot someone is you know, and this is where a lot of people go wrong, and you see this so often, and this is me coming from mostly my perspective, but see, whenever I'm training, for example, and I'm doing the bench press, and I'm pressing the weight as many times as I can, if say I'm on my 6th rep, and I press it up and it's quite difficult, I don't want you to come in and start spotting me. Because if you start to spot me, first of all, I might not be training with you every single workout. Which means if you're spotting me whenever I get those 6 reps, then I don't genuinely know how many reps I can get by myself. So does that mean if you're spotting me whenever I get the 6th rep and I get the 7th rep, maybe we do 10 reps with you spotting me? Does that mean the next day that I hit 6 reps, I go for the 7th and I re-rack it, or do I keep pressing? The second part is I want to train my muscles to failure. I want to train them till I can't press anymore. If I'm pressing and I haven't hit failure and you're spotting me, like you're helping me up with the weight, well, I'm viewing that as you're stealing my fucking gains. Like, I want to train my muscle till it can't press anymore. If you're helping me press the weight whilst I've still got a lot of energy left, then you're really taking away from my workout. Third of all, don't be spotting too much. Whenever I'm pressing the weight and I can't get it up, I still want to overload my muscles as much as possible. I really want to just take as much out of them as I can. So whenever I'm pressing up the weight, and say I did my final rep where I could really get it, and then I'm coming back down again trying to put as much pressure on the body and press it up. Whenever that person's pressing it up, you don't want to just jerk it up and take it off them. That means that last rep was just wasted and you just lifted it up. Make that person have to go through the pain of pressing it up as if they were pressing it up themselves, meaning that you give them minimal help. You're only really using like 2 fingers in each hand and just sort of hooking it up and using it as little as possible. You give them as little help as possible. So as long as it's going up, don't be spotting someone and the bar's not moving, or else someone could snap their fucking shit up. I mean that you're spotting them and it's moving at a steady pace, but they have to press it as much as they can themselves. So that's what you want to do first of all to be a good spotter. You know, make it that they press until they can't press anymore, and you judge when to come in. So the point you want to come in is whenever they're pressing, for example, on the bench press, and the bar starts to go towards a negative, meaning that whenever they press it and it's paused here, don't come in to spot them necessarily, because they could still just grind it out and get that rep in. But I mean is if they're pressing it and then it starts to come down, you want to come in at that point and start to spot them and help them up. And that's really the key to being a great spotter. You know, there's so many people, you just take it for granted someone can spot you, but there's so many people who really can't spot at all. And for the most part, the things that are not good while spotting, like the worst things that you can do is come in too early, meaning that they're going for 10 reps and they're only on their 5th rep of that set and you're already pulling the bar up. The second thing, which is the worst, is jerking it up nearly. That person is trying to press it and feel it in their muscles. If you're pulling the weight whilst they're trying to press something heavy, you're sort of going to jerk it and pull their form away, and it's going to be very awkward. You have to be in tune with that person who's working out. Don't be thinking, I'm just lifting this weight. Think about what way is that person naturally pressing, and that's first of all going to make such a significant help. And then the best thing that you can do is let them press till they can't press anymore, and then spot them very lightly, just enough so they can press it up and they really train their muscles to failure. Now, obviously, the intention of a spotter is to help that person get the most out of themselves. But the second thing is that you keep them safe. Don't be spotting someone who's lifting a weight that you cannot lift yourself. Meaning that, say someone's benching 225 pounds or 100 kilograms and you can't press it yourself, unless you've had a lot of experience spotting people, or you know that you can help that person lift that weight up, don't be doing it. Tell that person that you can't spot them, because there's nothing worse than someone who's trying to press a weight up and you're pulling it and you can't get it up, because that person's going to fucking burn themselves out and you could potentially really hurt yourself. Like, so many people put themselves at risk of tearing their trap or their neck by trying to upright row weight they can't lift. So that person's trying to press it and you're trying to pull it up and you're just squeezing everything using poor form. You can put yourself at risk. So understand that, and a good way to judge if you can spot someone's weight is that you can lift it yourself. Now obviously it's going to be so much easier, but that's just a tip to keep yourself so safe unless you've been spotting people for a long time. So if you want to be a good spotter, there you fucking have it, guys. Don't be stealing people's gains. Stop coming in too early. If you're someone who's spotting someone, don't be afraid to come in too late. And the best thing that you can do is speak to the person that you're working out with. That's the best thing that you can do, so you can share your views on it. There you fucking have it.